Have you ever stood in that quiet moment after they've walked away, wondering if you were ever enough? It's haunting, isn't it? The silence they leave behind, the unanswered questions, the slow unraveling of your confidence. You replay everything, what you said, what you didn't say, what you should have done differently, and somewhere in that emotional wreckage, you begin to believe the lie that you weren't worth staying for. But here's the truth. Rejection doesn't mean you were unworthy. It means they couldn't see your worth clearly. You did what most people do after heartbreak. You waited. You held space for them in your mind. You kept the door open just in case. You held on to hope, because letting go felt like giving up on something beautiful. But slowly, painfully, you stopped waiting. Not because you stopped caring, but because you started choosing yourself. And just when the silence became your peace, they return. A message, a random like, a sudden, "I've been thinking about you." The same person who left you questioning your value now wants access again. And naturally you ask yourself, why now? This pattern isn't accidental. It's rooted in human nature, in the psychology of absence, in the fear of truly losing someone who once made them feel seen. Because when you stop waiting, something powerful happens. You shift your energy from longing to living. You're no longer focused on what's missing, you're focused on what's growing. And without even trying, you become magnetic. Not to games, not to manipulation, but to truth, to clarity, to power. In this video, we're going to break down 6 specific reasons why they always come back when you finally stop waiting. Not based on fantasy, but on psychology, emotional patterns, and unspoken truths. If you've ever held on to someone longer than you should have, this video is for you. It's time to understand their behavior and your strength. Let's begin. Number 1. Your emotional energy is no longer theirs to control. When someone walks away from you, especially when they know you still care, there's a part of them that expects you to wait. Maybe not physically, but emotionally. They count on you staying stuck, checking their socials, replaying old memories, hoping, longing, wondering. And for a while, you do. Because that's what love does to a heart that hasn't healed yet. You gave them your time, your thoughts, your silent loyalty, even in their absence. They may not have reached out, but deep down, they believed they still had access to your energy. And in many ways, they did. But then, something changes. Slowly, you stop reaching. You stop expecting. The energy you once poured into them, daydreams, memories, imaginary conversations, begins to flow back into yourself. You stop feeding the fantasy and start feeding your reality. That moment is more powerful than any goodbye. You see, what they once felt, whether they admit it or not, was your invisible attachment. Even in silence, they could sense it. That's the strange truth of emotional bonds. They don't require contact to be felt. But when that cord is cut, they feel it like a sudden loss of gravity. Something shifts. And now, instead of being the one pursued, they become the one questioning. It's disorienting for them, because now your emotional energy, the thing they took for granted, is no longer under their control. They can't predict your thoughts. They can't rely on your loyalty. You've stopped orbiting them. You're no longer silently waiting for closure or contact or crumbs. You've stepped out of their emotional shadow, and that terrifies them. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's what you've done. You've reclaimed your mind, and with it, your emotional power. They return not just because they miss you, but because they feel the withdrawal of something they never truly appreciated while they had it. Your love, your presence, your quiet loyalty, it created a comfort they now crave again. But now it's out of reach. This isn't revenge. This is reality. When you stop waiting, you stop giving. And when you stop giving, they're left with nothing but their own echo. So, if you've ever felt guilty for pulling your energy back, don't. It's not selfish. It's survival. It's strength. It's sovereignty. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My energy is sacred. It belongs to me. Say it. Believe it. Because the moment you stop giving your power away is the moment they finally start to feel the loss. Number 2. Your silence forces them to hear themselves. There is something haunting about silence, especially when it comes from someone who used to care. When you stop speaking, stop reacting, stop chasing, they are no longer distracted by your energy. All they're left with is the sound of their own thoughts. And that's what scares them the most. You see, while you were loving them out loud, they were often avoiding their own reflection. They could run from accountability, escape into attention, and numb themselves with distractions because your presence acted like a buffer. But when you go quiet, that buffer disappears. Now, there's no voice telling them they're missed, no reassurance, no emotional safety net, just silence. And in that silence, the truth echoes louder than ever. Their choices, their ego, their cruelty, their avoidance. Everything they tried to silence within themselves comes roaring back when yours is gone. At first, they may act like they don't care, like your silence means nothing. But that's a mask, because internally, they're spiraling. Why aren't you reaching out? Why aren't you reacting? Why aren't you begging for closure? And the most disturbing thought begins to creep in. Did you finally see their true colors? Did you finally realize your worth? Silence becomes a mirror they can't run from. It exposes everything they wanted to hide, even from themselves. Seneca once said, "A guilty person sometimes has the luck to escape detection, but never to feel safe." That's exactly what happens when you detach. They are no longer protected by your patience. Your silence removes the shield and exposes the consequences. They start to hear all the things you stopped saying, the respect you deserved, the love you gave, the things they never acknowledged. And now, it's too late to unhear it. Don't underestimate the psychological power of withdrawal. When your presence is consistent, people get comfortable. When your silence replaces your support, they start to panic. They don't miss you at first. They miss control. They miss certainty. But when the fog clears, they begin to miss you, the real you they took for granted. They always come back. Not because they've changed, but because your absence became too loud to ignore. And when that happens, the only thing they can hear anymore is the truth. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence speaks louder than their excuses. You don't owe them words. You don't owe them closure. Sometimes the greatest healing comes not from what you say, but from what you no longer respond to. Number 3, your detachment challenges their ego. At first, they were sure you'd never let go. That's the illusion their ego needed to feel powerful. They didn't think you had the strength to walk away emotionally. Maybe you'd stop texting. Maybe you'd block them. But detach. Really move on inside your soul. They didn't think you were capable of that, because their validation came from knowing they still mattered to you, even in silence. Your attachment made them feel superior. It fed their illusion that they were unforgettable, irreplaceable. But when that illusion cracks, when they realize you're not emotionally dependent anymore, their ego begins to unravel. They expected a reaction. pain, maybe even desperation, but instead you became still, you became calm. You didn't try to prove anything, you didn't beg them to see your worth. That's what hits the hardest. You didn't need to perform your pain, you outgrew it. And the moment they saw your detachment, not as a game, but as truth, they felt something they weren't prepared for: the loss of control. True detachment is not pretending not to care. It's genuinely reclaiming your peace. It's looking at what once hurt you and realizing, I no longer want this energy in my life. That level of stillness is threatening to someone who relied on your chaos. Your silence no longer hides hope. It signals a shift in power, and their ego can't stand it. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." That's what you've done. You've removed your self-worth from their hands, and by doing so, you've won your freedom. They feel it, that calm, radiant energy that no longer needs their recognition. And the more grounded you become, the more unstable they feel. Because when you stop proving your worth, they're forced to confront their own emptiness. When you stop waiting for closure, they're left in the silence of their own unresolved guilt. That's the beauty of detachment. It doesn't punish them, it reveals them. They don't come back because they've had a change of heart. They come back because their ego needs repair. But what they find instead is a version of you they can no longer manipulate. Drop this affirmation in the comments: I release what no longer honors me. This isn't about showing strength, it's about choosing peace. And when peace becomes your standard, everything misaligned begins to fall away. Number 4, your growth becomes their regret. They expected time to weaken you. They thought you'd fall apart without them, that you'd slowly shrink, waiting, wondering, lost in heartbreak. But instead, you grew. You evolved in silence. You healed in shadows. And the person they once dismissed now terrifies them, not because you became someone else, but because you became everything they didn't expect. You took your pain and turned it into power. You stopped needing their validation. You stopped needing answers. And in doing so, you became someone they're no longer qualified to access. Your growth is a mirror they can't look into for long, because it shows them everything they didn't become. While they stayed stagnant, you elevated. While they chased distractions, you built yourself. Every new boundary you created, every standard you raised, every ounce of peace you protected, it all reminded them of what they gave up. And now they're haunted by the version of you that's no longer available to them. People think growth is about glowing up physically, but real growth, it's emotional, spiritual. It's becoming someone who no longer begs for love, who no longer accepts crumbs, who no longer settles for confusion. It's finding home within yourself. And that kind of growth, that's what triggers them. Because now they're the one looking from the outside, realizing the door they slammed shut no longer opens from your side. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." You did exactly that. You stopped trying to explain your worth and simply embodied it. You didn't talk about change. You became it. And now they're stuck watching your strength from a distance they created. Here's the part they never saw coming. You didn't move on to make them jealous. You moved on because you finally understood your value. And that kind of transformation can't be undone. It makes them question everything, not just about you, but about themselves. They come back when your life starts reflecting the growth they never expected. But they're not returning to celebrate you. They're returning because your light now exposes their darkness. And what hurts more than losing you is realizing they lost the best version of themselves when they lost you. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My growth is not for their comfort. Keep growing. Keep healing. Don't shrink just because they finally noticed what they lost. You're not who they left behind. You're who they'll never deserve again. Number 5. They lost access to a version of you that no longer exists. They're not missing you. They're missing the version of you who tolerated their inconsistency. The you who forgave everything just to keep the connection alive. The one who gave endless chances, explained yourself repeatedly, and tried to hold something together that was already breaking you. But here's the truth. They don't have access to that version of you anymore. That person, that soft-hearted, always available, emotionally generous version of you, they killed it with their silence, with their arrogance, with their inability to show up when it actually mattered. You gave them love that was pure. You gave them effort that came from the soul. But when someone takes that for granted over and over, they're not just rejecting love, they're destroying a connection their future self will desperately want back, because no one gives endlessly without changing. At some point you reach a breaking point, and when you do, something inside of you turns off. You stop reaching. You stop believing. You stop waiting for them to become who you hoped they'd be. And that moment is when they start to notice. They don't come back because they're ready to love you right. They come back to re-access who you used to be. The one who made them feel important. The one who answered even when she was hurting. The one who bent until she broke. But when they come back, they find someone new, someone quieter, stronger, colder. Not because you're bitter, but because you finally gave that same love to yourself. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." That's exactly what you did. You didn't just get over them, you outgrew them. You didn't just survive the pain, they were the lesson that taught you how to rise. And now, their words don't move you, their presence doesn't shake you, their attention no longer feeds you, because the version of you who needed them no longer exists. They come back looking for familiar energy, only to realize it's gone. What remains is a person who no longer hopes for the past to return, because they've fallen in love with the peace that came after letting go. That's what hurts them now. The silence isn't temporary, it's permanent. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I've outgrown who I had to be for them. Let them miss you. Let them regret. That's their karma. Your job isn't to re-explain your worth. It's to become someone who no longer needs to. Number 6. Your peace is their punishment. They expected you to suffer loudly, to break, to post, to chase, to prove you still cared, because in their mind, silence was weakness. They thought you were just being quiet until they returned. They assumed you were waiting. But your silence wasn't waiting, it was transformation. While they were entertaining attention, you were building strength. While they were watching your story views, you were writing a new one. And the most terrifying thing for them now is how peaceful you've become. That calm scares them more than any fight would have. Because when someone is still angry, there's still emotion, still attachment, still hope. But when someone is silent and peaceful, it means the bond is broken. Not out of hate, but out of clarity, out of healing. That kind of peace. It's terrifying for someone who fed off your emotional chaos. They don't know what to do with this version of you, the one who no longer needs closure, the one who smiles without faking it, the one who doesn't check their page or wonder what if. They thought you'd be stuck. They thought you'd orbit around their absence. But instead, you became the center of your own universe. Seneca once wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That's what they didn't see coming. You became the master of your own emotions. You no longer react. You respond. You no longer seek. They must now earn, and in that reversal, they feel powerless, because nothing bruises the ego more than being ignored by the one who once begged for attention. Now your peace is your protection. Your boundaries are your proof of healing. And your silence? It's not a strategy, it's a declaration that you're done, not angry, not bitter, just done. And the longer you stay silent, the louder their mind gets, the louder their guilt becomes. That's why they watch your every move, ask mutual friends, stalk in secret, because they can't believe you've truly let go. But you did. You stopped waiting. You stopped checking. You stopped giving life to something that only drained yours. And now, their biggest punishment is knowing they can never reach you where you've risen. Drop this final affirmation in the comments. My silence is my freedom. Keep choosing peace. Keep choosing you. Because while they drown in their own noise, you've finally found your calm. And that calm, that's your crown. You're not coming back, and that's what destroys them. They never thought you'd stop. Stop texting, stop hoping, stop believing in the what if. They thought your silence was a pause, never a full stop. They mistook your patience for permanence, your love for dependency. But then something shifted. You didn't just go quiet, you went inward. And in that stillness, you rebuilt everything they shattered. Now they're the ones refreshing their phone, checking if you watched their story, hoping a song or memory will pull you back. But it won't, because you've already buried the version of you who waited, the one who begged for bare minimum, the one who couldn't sleep because they didn't reply. That person doesn't exist anymore, and that's what haunts them. They always thought they had time to mess up, time to come back, time to play games. They thought you'd always be an option, until one day they realized they became invisible to you. Not out of revenge, out of growth. That realization doesn't just sting, it destroys. You see, people don't regret losing you immediately. They regret it when you've moved on. When your silence is no longer a reaction, but your reality. When your peace is no longer fragile but permanent. That's when the panic sets in. That's when the what-ifs turn into sleepless nights. That's when they finally understand they weren't replaced, they were released. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." You've found that strength. You no longer try to change people who never saw your worth. You no longer wait for apologies from people who aren't sorry. You've accepted the truth. Their love was conditional. Yours was real. And now it's gone. So they come back, not because they've changed, but because they finally realize you did. But the door is closed. The version of you they knew is no longer available, and the silence they hear now is forever. You are the lesson they'll never forget. Your role in their life was never to chase, beg, or fix them. Your role was to show them what real love looks like, and what it feels like to lose it. You were the mirror they refused to face, the calm in their chaos, the anchor they took for granted until the storm came, and you were gone. You weren't sent into their life to be used, abandoned, or misunderstood. You were sent as the lesson, the wake-up call, the moment they'll keep replaying in their head, wondering how they let someone so rare slip away. You didn't just love them, you saw them, accepted them, and still they chose distance, chose ego, chose comfort over growth. But here's the truth. They didn't break you. They revealed you. They exposed the cracks in your self-worth, and instead of collapsing, you rebuilt with gold. Stronger, wiser, clearer. That's your power now. You don't seek closure. You are the closure. Your role is not to revisit the past. Your role is to rise, to be the living proof that heartbreak doesn't destroy. It awakens. That silence isn't weakness. It's protection. That walking away doesn't mean you gave up. It means you finally chose yourself. And the more they realize what they lost, the higher you rise. Not for revenge, not to be seen, but because peace looks better on you than pain ever did. Let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them regret. You've got a life to live. Your silence was the beginning of everything. They thought the story ended when they left. But the truth is, that was only the end of their chapter. Yours was just beginning. Every time you didn't reply, every time you held your ground, every time you chose silence over begging, it wasn't the end. It was rebirth. It was transformation. It was you stepping into your power, because silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. It's where healing begins, where peace takes root, where self-worth is no longer questioned, but declared. And now they're left behind, not because you wanted to hurt them, but because you finally loved yourself enough to walk away. That love, that's what they'll never get back. That version of you, the soft, forgiving, waiting version, is gone. What stands in your place now is power, presence, peace. So if you're watching this, know this. You don't need to speak to prove your worth. You don't need to go back to prove your growth. You don't need to respond to be powerful. Your silence already said everything. They always come back when you stop waiting. But by then, it's too late. Type this in the comments if you've finally chosen yourself over temporary attention. I don't chase. I attract. I protect my peace. Like, comment, share this with someone who needs this reminder today. And remember, the most powerful thing you'll ever do is walk away and not look back.